Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today I'm going to share with you a recipe that I made up kind of based on a TikTok that I saw. So let me show you what I did. Alright, our first step is to get our oven preheated. I'm going to do it at 450. And then we're going to get our cherry tomatoes onto some parchment paper into an oven safe pan. I'm also going to add in some garlic. And I'm going to drizzle everything with olive oil. I'm also going to go ahead and salt the tomatoes and pepper them just a bit. There we go. And now these are ready to throw in the oven once it's preheated, and we're just going to roast them until the tomatoes kind of pop and start to char. Alright, it's almost up to temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and throw these in there and keep an eye on them. Okay, while I wait for my veggies to roast, I decided to go ahead and make some homemade bread so that tomorrow night when we have leftovers, we have some homemade bread to use. Tonight we'll just use what we've got in the pantry. So to make this really easy, no knead overnight bread, you need 3 1/4 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of yeast, and I'm gonna just stir it into some warm water. This is a 1.5 cups of warm, not hot water. And then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm just gonna give my dry ingredients just a mix real quick. And then we're gonna pour in our water and yeast. Let me get this off the side here. And then we're just gonna give this a quick mix until it's all combined. And after that, we're just gonna let it rest overnight. There's no extra kneading involved once you get it mixed up to begin with. And it's so easy and delicious, and I need to make it more often because it's just, homemade bread is so much better, you know, than the store-bought stuff. So, all right, we'll give this a quick stir. And then we're gonna cook this in probably the air fryer tomorrow, just because I don't want to turn the oven on tomorrow if I don't have to. But normally I cook this in the Dutch oven in the oven, and it's delicious, but I found that the air fryer works just as well. So I'm going to mix this until I have what looks like a shaggy dough. But it doesn't need to be perfectly smooth, but you do want to try to get all of that flour not on your work surface. You want to try and get the flour kind of mixed into the liquid. All right. I'm just gonna kind of stir it with my hands just to get the last little bit of flour. And then I'm just gonna plop it into my bread bowl so that I can cover it for the night. And it'll rise a little bit, and you know that tells you that the yeast is working. But I've never put sugar in this. I know yeast really like sugar to work, but this works every time I do it. So we're just gonna set that to the side, and that's gonna be ready for tomorrow. All right, it has been about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull our tomatoes and garlic out. Delicious. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get our burner turned on, and I'm gonna slide this all off of the parchment paper. I just didn't want it to burn to the bottom of the pan in case it got that far. All right, these tomatoes look and smell so good. I'm just kind of smashing them a little bit to get all the juice out. And to our tomatoes, I'm gonna add 4 cans of cannellini beans, which are just white kidney beans. This is just gonna add some protein. You could put pasta in this, but I'm kind of pastaed out right now, so I decided to try something different. We're just gonna let that kind of simmer for a little while. To this, I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning and some red pepper flakes. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this until my beans are nice and cooked through, or warmed through, I should say. They're pretty much cooked already. Now I'm going to add in some heavy whipping cream just to give it some creaminess. Probably about 1/2 cup. And I'm going to turn this down to a medium-high heat. And we're going to add in a whole package, an 8-ounce package or 2 cups of Italian-style shredded cheese. This is going to help thicken up that sauce and add a really nice cheesy flavor to this dish. I was inspired to make this by a TikToker that I follow. She's a personal chef and she's vegetarian or vegan, I believe. So, you know, she uses plant-based cheeses and things like that, but you can adapt it however you want. But I will link her TikTok below that inspired me to make this because her recipes look so good. So I just had to try them with my own twist, of course. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the burner off. And then I'm going to move this off the heat so nothing burns. And I'm going to let it cool for probably 5 or 10 minutes before I serve it up. Okay, it is the next day. I'm going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 450 degrees. Then I'm going to get a piece of parchment paper out and sprinkle it with just a little bit of flour so our dough doesn't stick. And then our dough has been rising for a day now. You could probably, 12 hours is enough, but oop, it rose so much it's sticking to my cloth. Good thing it's washable. All right, now when you take this out, the top layer is definitely gonna be crusty. That is okay. We're gonna go ahead and get our bread dough out, and I really should have floured this better, but it doesn't stick too bad. All right, so we're gonna plop this down on our flour here. And we're just going to start pulling the bottom and pinching it to the top just to get a smooth top on our bread. And it just kind of mixes in all the different crusty bits and it'll just make a smoother loaf of bread. So there's really not kneading, this is more shaping. And you wouldn't really have to do this, but it's just prettier and has a better texture if you do. So I'm just pulling the sides and pinching it to the top. Now while our oven and our Dutch oven pan are preheating, I'm going to go ahead and flour my bread bowl here and stick this. See how nice and smooth this is now? I'm going to put this back in my bread bowl and just lightly cover it and let it rise for about 30 minutes while our oven preheats. And don't get rid of your parchment paper because you're going to use it here in just a moment. I'm going to pre-flour it so we're ready to go. All right, we're going to get our Dutch oven, our empty Dutch oven, into the oven here to just get it preheated so it's nice and warm when we put our bread in. All right, it has been 30 minutes, so our Dutch oven should be nice and preheated. And it's given our dough time to rise a second time. And we're just gonna plop this, ooh, that was messy, right on to this parchment paper here. I'm gonna remove the lid. And then just take our parchment paper, set it in our Dutch oven, put our lid back on, and stick it in the oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we'll take this out and uncover it and cook it for an additional 15 minutes to let the top brown and get all nice and crispy. Okay, it has been 30 minutes, so we're going to take the lid off of our Dutch oven and let the bread cook for another 15 minutes to let the top brown, and it will be done. All right, it has been 15 more minutes, so we're going to pull our bread out as it should be done. All right, and I'm just gonna pull the bread out. And look at that. And there we have it, a beautifully crusty bread on top that's soft in the middle. Oh, this is gonna be so good with our leftovers. This is really the simplest bread recipe I've ever made. I got it from a fellow YouTuber, so I will post her recipe video below. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and dish up our dinner. It smells fantastic and I can't wait to try it. I really wish I had planned ahead and made the bread dough last night so that I had fresh bread to go with this. But I found these in my pantries, just some sea salt crackers, so I think that will be just as good, at least for now. I also bought some fresh burrata cheese, and I'm going to put that kind of just in the middle. It's like a softer, tastier mozzarella. We'll add some basil that I have growing on my windowsill here. A few red pepper flakes. And some crackers. And there you have it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.